Hello YouTubers, don't get alarmed about the length of this video. It's only the first little bit that I think I want to get across, and I want to get it up to date because it's about something that will happen tomorrow. I want to point you in the direction of a BBC programme that will be shown tomorrow at that's the 26th of May at 8:30, and it deals with safety on the internet, which I think you will all find interesting. They put little snippets of teaser bits of what they're going to do up on their own BBC site within YouTube, and if you subscribe to that you may well already know about it, but they'll be dealing with some very important issues which I think will affect you all. Regarding safety on the internet. I mean, we all make friends on the internet, and of course that is a wonderful thing. And I was with a young man, Charlie is so cool, like recently, and he made a very interesting point that really making friends on the internet can be easier and probably better than making them in real life, in that if you meet people, say at a disco or some event, then you have got to get to know them, whereas if you see them via a video link, either through Skype Messenger or YouTube, then you already get to know them and know whether you're going to be compatible, and whether you would like them and whether you would want to be friends. So there are wonderful opportunities to make friends on the internet, but of course if you are on sites where you only know somebody by their username, well, that means absolutely nothing, and you leave yourself open to abuse, I suppose, or attention that you don't want, and it would be very unwise to give out too many details about yourself, the school you go to, where you live, even a registration number of a car, or a picture of the house that you live or the town that you live in, and I'm sure all of those points will be brought up in the BBC programme, which I'll put a link over there of the details of when it's going to happen. So really that's all, just to hope that you might be able to see or record that programme, and that it would be helpful to you. For us old people, well, there's loads of libelous stuff out there about me, and a lot of slanderous stuff written about me, and whilst I don't like it, it would be expensive to get lawyers to follow those things up. I suppose the only thing that can happen to us old people, if we have our identity cloned and somebody gets all our money in some false way, or we respond to all of the scams that there are about, but that's up to us. But for younger people, it is most important that you do. So what happens on the rest of this video is the fact of just a video of myself meeting some friends that I made on the internet, and I suppose just to illustrate that you can make very, very nice friends on the internet if you go about it the right way. So I'll shut up now, put the video on, see you all again, hopefully very soon. Until then, as usual, goodbye.
Okay. Hello, my name's Nika, and this is my mum Cecilia, and we're visiting Peter at the moment, and we thought we'd do a little YouTube thingy for my channel, because I got a Christmas present from my mum, which is a computer. Our mum is terrified of computers. So, Peter being an expert, aren't you, Peter?
Hardly an expert, but I am an old person, and I have become not frightened of them anymore, and I hope that with Nika's help that you too can reach a stage where you'll get great enjoyment from your computer.
Hopefully. With patience.
So what's the sort of concern? Why are you sort of scared about computers, Mum?
Well, not exactly scared, but I had to use one at work when I was working. I'm now retired. And I found it so boring.
Oh.
I mean, I'm talking about prior to 1999. So I'm sure things have improved since then.
Just a little bit.
So I'm just going to try.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right, because you don't know anything really about the internet, do you?
No, not really.
And you love reading.
I do.
And to me it's like the internet, it's like you have a library in your own home. You can click onto anything.
Excellent.
And research anything.
Excellent.
Have you got any questions that you'd like to ask Peter? How you got started, maybe?
Yes, Peter, how did you get started?
Well, I, like you, was scared, and I couldn't see any reason for having a computer, but I thought that it was part of the modern world and that I should have one, and therefore I bought one, and then of course had to learn to use it, and I didn't really have anybody to help me. So on every program you're on a computer, you've got a help file, which means there's instructions of what to do. So I started to learn that way, and then in my case subsequently I decided to go to college to just learn basic IT, which means information technology, doesn't it, or something, all the things you can do on a computer, and it's a gradual process. But I think the great thing that you will enjoy is the fact of the internet, and everything is done on the internet these days, from research to buying things to ordering your food, finding out, booking air passages and train journeys, and it's a whole world of joy. And one of the other things that I think you'll find useful is that there are programs whereby you can speak to people all over the world and include video of yourself, so it's like being in the same room with relations you might have Australia, Japan, America, or even next door. So there's no need, I mean, there are great joys, but I do understand that I have many friends who just won't know about computers because they say, why do I want one, you know, but only after you've got one will you find reasons, really.
Thank you, Peter.
Like Luke, which is my nephew, your grandson, he books your tickets, doesn't he, to go to Ireland?
He does.
And you're going to do that yourself?
Yes, the only thing wrong with that is on my last trip...
I know it's coming.
on my last trip, I checked in at the airport at Heathrow, and the lady said, now that will be £5 for your suitcase. He'd failed to book the suitcase, so I had to pay £5, and I really objected to it. I was really cross. It actually made me cross for about an hour.
Oh dear. Well, that's very sad. I don't understand, because I thought in any time you take a suitcase onto an aeroplane, it'll go free at a certain weight.
Indeed.
But I mean, you were probably overweight.
No, I
Oh,
wasn't.
Peter, what, are you insulting my mum?
I wasn't, Peter. It was an ordinary... In fact, I was very careful. It was just one suitcase now was what I was booking on. I've previously booked 2 on and not been charged.
Well, I didn't even know you had to book a suitcase, so
I put it through on the little runner, you know.
Yeah, I know, yes, into
And
the
£5,
luggage.
and I had to go, and you couldn't dock, you see. If you thought you were going to dock, you then had to get your boarding card when you'd paid for it.
Oh, right.
And the same thing happened at Shannon on my way back.
Oh well, bad luck, but I don't really think we can blame the internet.
No, that's true.
But
That's the airline.
I complained about the airline. That's the first time it's ever happened, Peter, and I've been travelling with Aer Lingus for 50 years.
You reminded them of that fact, I suppose.
You
I
did.
did go
I thought you might.
rather for spite now.
Yes.
They're discontinuing the link from Shannon to Heathrow, not because of what I said.
Now, Now, what you could do, Mum, with the internet,
Yeah.
you could write an email to this airline and complain.
Well, yes, of course, email. I mean, there's so many wonderful things that you can do, and I'm very pleased that Nika has given you this as a Christmas present, and I guarantee you'll probably find she can't get you off the thing now.
Indeed, exactly.
True. I hope I won't get too hooked. I have too much else to do. You know?
Well, that's
The
another
housework, I guess.
that's another thing that people say, but I mean, you have to get your priorities right.
Indeed.
I mean, the internet comes first.
If you say so, Peter.
Well, no, it's very nice that you've expressed those worries, because they are they're worries that so many people I know have, and there's no need to. And it's like any other tool. You use it for what you want to use it for, and you use it when you want to use it. But I think the whole world is moving over to everything being on the internet. I mean, you can watch your television programs there, etc., and you listen to your radio programs when you want to, not to be tied down to schedules on the thing.
Exactly.
You may not want to do that, but every department of the media is recognising the power of computers and the internet. So I think you should come up to speed and
Indeed.
bring yourself into the 21st century.
It's nice that you had that faith, Peter.
I've got a funny story. Have you got enough time, Peter?
It's up to you. You've had 7 minutes.
All right,
so
I've got a
Let's
funny
laugh.
little story. My oldest nephew, Dan, he was like having, I don't know how it, well, I wasn't there, but I'll tell the story anyway, and you can
Yeah.
correct me if I'm wrong, Mum. And my brother's a few years older than me, and he said, "Oh, Dad, you're stuck in the 60s. And then my mum, thinking that she's a trendy granny, she said, "Oh, Dan, and what about
Where am
me?
I?"
Where am I?" And he said, "You're stuck in the 1860s." I can imagine how my mum's face looks.
Absolutely, yeah.
I
yeah,
thought I was
yeah.
so trendy, you know, up to date.
Oh, you'll soon be talking like a teenager once you've been onto one of these Skype or Messenger or something like this, and you'll be texting away, and you'll have to learn text language. You know, you don't. You
Yes,
put,
I realised you were saying something there earlier on. I can't recall what it was, but it was double Dutch to me. A term, you
Well,
know.
to be honest, a lot of the text language is double Dutch to me. I don't understand all these acronyms. In fact, when I was on the computer quite early on, LOL is quite a common acronym, and I thought it meant lots of love.
Oh.
And so I was texting to all sorts of people, putting
With
sending lots of love instead of lots of love, so they got the completely wrong message. And I do understand some of the rude acronyms that people put to me, and there's always an F in there somewhere, you know. But I don't understand many of them, and I don't
No.
actually use them.
No. All right then.
Is
Well-
there anything else you want to say or ask?
No, I'm delighted, Peter, that you've made us so welcome. I've never been to Derbyshire before,
Well, that's wonderful.
and it's beautiful. I mean, it's dark now, but you know, it was lovely coming up. We had
Thank
a
you.
lovely.
We had a lovely time.
It's been lovely having you, and you know you're always welcome.
Thank
and,
you very much.
Nika
Thank
and
you.
I, of course, have met before.
We
and,
have indeed.
Now I've met Mum, and
That's right.
that's lovely.
And now
Thank
you can give us the permission to get married.
Well, I did.
You
I
might
did,
have competition.
Oh, well, I have.
I did ask her, and I think she might be putting a video up where I asked her. I don't know.
And now that you see my mum, I'm out of the picture.
Ah.
Oh dear.
Well, you did bring some lovely food over with you, didn't you? And some cream and jam on your scones, and so you're trying to win your way.
Yeah, my mum can cook, I can't, you
The
see.
way to a man's heart is
Is
through his stomach. Yes.
But I can ride a motorbike, Peter, so...
Oh, well, how do I choose? How do I choose? I mean, you've got a Yamaha twin. I mean, how do I choose?
Oh dear.
You don't ride a bike.
A push bike?
Okay. Well, it's up to you, Nika, when you want me to click this little button that ends it
Okay.
and say goodbye to them.
goodbye to all the
Bye.
YouTubers and a happy new year and all the best for 2008.